Alex and Daniel walk into a car dealership on the exact same day. They have the same budget, the same income, and the same goal: reliable, respectable transportation. Alex drives away in a brand new BMW 330i. It has leather seats, that intoxicating new car smell, and a badge that commands respect at every stoplight. His chest tightens just slightly when he thinks about the monthly payment, but the feeling of pride pushes the anxiety down. Daniel drives away in a 3-year-old Toyota Camry. He paid cash. It's clean, it's comfortable, but it certainly doesn't turn any heads. As he pulls into his driveway, he feels a quiet, almost embarrassing sense of relief. For the next 5 years, everyone who looks at their driveways will assume Alex is the winner. He looks wealthier. He looks more successful, but the real math tells a completely different story. Let's keep this fair. Alex and Daniel both earn $65,000 a year. They both want a car in the $45,000 to $50,000 range. Same city, same commute, same need. Alex buys a new 2025 BMW 330i. The sticker price is $47,000. After taxes, fees, and a modest down payment, he finances $44,000 over 60 months at 6.9% interest. His monthly payment lands at around $870. The salesman congratulates him. The car is flawless. Daniel buys a 2022 Toyota Camry with 40,000 miles on it. He pays $22,000 cash. No monthly payment, no loan, no interest. He walks out of the dealership in under 2 hours. On day one, the gap looks obvious. Alex has a better car by every visible measure. More power, more technology, more prestige. Daniel has a car that most people would describe as sensible, maybe even boring. But here is the number that almost nobody calculates on day one. The moment Alex drove that BMW off the lot, it lost somewhere between $11,000 and $14,000 in value in a single afternoon, before he even got home. Daniel's car? It barely moved. By the end of year one, Alex has paid around $10,440 in monthly payments. He has also paid roughly $3,225 in insurance. Because insuring a new BMW costs about $1,200 more per year than insuring a used Toyota. And because the BMW requires premium fuel, he has spent an extra $300 or so at the pump compared to Daniel. His car, which he paid $47,000 for, is now worth around $35,000. That is a loss of $12,000 in 12 months. Not because anything went wrong, not because he crashed it, simply because it is no longer new. Daniel's scoreboard looks different. He paid $22,000 cash. His insurance runs about $2,048 a year. His car, which was already 3 years old when he bought it, has dropped maybe $1,500 in value. The steepest part of the depreciation cliff was already behind him when he bought it. At the end of year one, Alex has spent roughly $14,000 in total car costs. Daniel has spent around $3,500. Alex is still winning in the driveway. His car is newer, faster, and more impressive. But the scoreboard is already starting to shift. Year 3 is where the story changes. Alex has now made 36 payments of $870. That is $31,320 in payments alone, plus interest, plus insurance, plus premium fuel. His BMW is 3 years old and worth around $33,000, but he still owes roughly $28,000 on the loan. He is not underwater, but he is not far from it either. And here is the part that stings. BMW's free maintenance program, the one that covered his oil changes and scheduled service, just expired. From this point forward, every repair is on him. Daniel's Camry is now 6 years old. He paid $22,000 for it 3 years ago and has spent nothing on loan payments since. His total out-of-pocket costs over 3 years, insurance, fuel, basic maintenance, come to roughly $10,000. The car is worth around $16,000. He owns it outright. This is the moment most people never calculate. Alex has spent over $40,000 in 3 years and still has a loan. Daniel has spent around $32,000 total, including the purchase price, and owns his car free and clear. For the first time, Daniel is not just keeping pace. he is quietly ahead, and the BMW's warranty just ended. The expensive part of ownership is only beginning. This is the part that nobody puts in the brochure. When Alex bought his BMW, the salesman talked about performance, technology, and prestige. What he did not mention was the cost of keeping a BMW alive once the warranty is gone. An oil change on a BMW runs $150 to $250. On Daniel's Camry, it is $60 to $80. A brake job on the BMW, front and rear, can cost $1,200 to $1,800. On the Camry, roughly $400 to $600. If something bigger fails, a water pump, a turbocharger, an electric component, Alex is looking at $2,000 to $5,000 in a single visit. These are not worst-case scenarios. These are average repair events for an out-of-warranty European car. Over 10 years, BMW owners spend an average of $16,000 on maintenance and repairs. Toyota Camry owners spend around $4,500. That is a gap of more than $11,000, and it compounds quietly in the background, one repair bill at a time. Then there is the fuel. The BMW requires 91 octane premium. The Camry runs on regular, at roughly 40 cents more per gallon over 15,000 miles a year. That is an extra $300 to $350 every single year. Over 5 years, that is nearly $1,700 that Daniel never spent. And the insurance gap, $1,177 more per year for Alex, adds another $5,885 over 5 years. Silently, automatically, every renewal. None of these numbers appear on the window sticker, but they all show up eventually. Let's stop here and run the full numbers. After 5 years, Alex has paid $52,200 in loan payments. He has spent roughly $16,125 on insurance, $9,048 in loan interest, $7,450 in fuel, and around $4,500 in maintenance. His total 5-year cost of ownership sits at approximately $67,600. His BMW is now worth around $27,000. If he sold it today, his effective net cost, what he actually paid minus what he gets back, is roughly $40,000. Daniel spent $22,000 up front. Over 5 years, he paid around $10,240 in insurance, $6,500 in fuel, and roughly $2,500 in maintenance. His total 5-year spend is approximately $41,000. His Camry is worth around $13,000. His effective net cost, around $28,000. The gap between them is more than $12,000 in effective cost, in favor of Daniel. And that is before accounting for the fact that Alex spent 5 years making monthly payments, while Daniel spent 5 years with no payment at all. Alex's car looks better. There is no question about that. But Daniel is $12,000 ahead, owns his car outright, and has had 0 loan payments for 5 full years. The driveway tells one story. The bank account tells another. Here is where it gets interesting. At year 5, Alex faces a choice. His BMW is paid off, but it is now 5 years old with 75,000 miles. The repair bills are becoming unpredictable. Most people in his position do what feels natural. They trade it in and buy something newer. The cycle restarts. New loan, new payment, new depreciation cliff. Daniel does something different. He keeps driving. The Camry hits 100,000 miles and keeps going. Toyota Camrys routinely reach 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. His monthly car cost for the next 5 years is essentially just insurance and oil changes, roughly $200 to $250 a month total. Now consider what Daniel does with the $870 a month he is not paying on a car loan. If he invests just half of that, $435 a month, into an index fund averaging 8% annual returns, over 5 years that grows to roughly $32,000. Alex, who restarted his loan cycle, is back to $870 a month and back to 0 equity. Over 10 years, the total wealth gap between these two decisions, the new BMW versus the used Toyota, can easily reach $40,000 to $60,000. Not because of luck, because of compounding, I would be lying if I said the BMW never makes sense. There are specific situations where buying a new luxury car is a genuinely smart financial decision, not just an emotional one. If you are self-employed or run a business, vehicle costs can often be deducted as a business expense. That tax advantage can close the gap between Alex and Daniel significantly, and in some cases, erase it entirely. The math changes when the government is partially paying for your car. If you are a high-income earner, someone for whom $870 a month represents a small fraction of take-home pay, the quality of life value of the BMW may be worth the premium. Not every financial decision has to be optimized to the last dollar. Enjoying what you earn is not a mistake. And if you buy the BMW used, 2 or 3 years old, letting someone else absorb that brutal first-year depreciation, and then drive it for 10 years, the numbers start to look very different. A 3-year-old BMW 3 Series can be bought for around $30,000 to $33,000. That is a very different conversation from $57,000 new. The problem is not the BMW. The problem is buying a BMW on a Toyota budget and calling it a smart decision. Alex and Daniel both made a choice, but only one of them made it with the full picture in front of him. The real question was never Toyota versus BMW. It was never reliable versus exciting, or practical versus prestigious. The real question was this: how much of your future are you willing to trade for how your driveway looks today? The sticker price is the opening scene. Depreciation, insurance, fuel, interest, and repair bills are the rest of the movie. Most people only watch the first 5 minutes, the monthly payment, the test drive, the feeling of sitting in something new, and then wonder years later why their finances never quite moved forward. A car is one of the largest financial decisions most people make, and it is one of the few decisions where the most expensive option is specifically designed to feel like the most reasonable one. Daniel's Camry is not glamorous. Nobody is going to film a commercial about it, but 10 years from now, Daniel's bank account will tell a story that no badge on any car ever could.